Another meatless Monday, although I'm not having completely. I have to have a teaspoonful of honey in my coffee. Do you hear why? My voice. And as I'm going to do that, other than that, it's completely meatless. Foods and other condiments, meatless. That's why I want meatless. Just waiting. Cold water boils hot. Make coffee. Nice big one. And I have my coffee. Bruises. June 5, 2020. I truly do not care. Do other residents and their guests and staff wanted me to move out? Not doing it. 1301, 1303, 1402, 1202 elsewhere, and here next door, etc. They can leave. They don't want me. They can leave. They can move out. Their names are not on any document I have and had. They should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, and need not do it on and out from and by my doors and windows. With and or without the police and paramedics. It's none of their business. All before, all during, all later, and all since May 9, 2024. It's none of their business. We do not obsess over them. We do not obsess about. We do not obsess all about, all to, and all about them. The same and or worse they did and do about, all to, and all about us. It's none of their business. If they didn't like it, when they didn't like it that I was home more earlier, congratulations, I'm home more. And it's none of your business what work and hobbies we do from home, at home. And where we were, or we did. We never did anything wrong. I remember when it was 2024, how many times did I send the police next door because of what they did? Vlogged it, my community posted it, and all other times. And those other people next doors should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, need not ever have one and more keys to one and more our estates. This one and earlier. Their delusions, their obsessions, their compulsions, the auditory hallucinations, paranoid thoughts that themselves had, has, and have, should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, need not, blamed us. And blame us caused that. They were just born as and have as. Including the delusions that they caused any outside of themselves, such as here and elsewhere. Of who, what, where, when, why, and how, off and on and off, internet and Wi-Fi's, all about, all to, and all about us, with and without one and more securities guards with and or without one and more police. Apparently the police have short-term memory because it was we that reported them to police several times. I showed them and told them who they did outside my front door and online, such as social media. And during it being live stream real time, and many police officers actually watched that ongoing. Gave me an occurrence, incident, and a report number about that. Be it from this address and or historical and geographical address. My parents and my parents' parents, my parents' parents' parents, and all animals and all pets, all fur babies, and myself. All named, all and all names. Bellis. And you just have to go downstairs and look me up on the directory. And you can see it yourselves, they're liars. It's none of their business. And an alleged wellness check is none of their business. Most all those alleged wellness checks are other people we don't even keep in touch with and were advised by other people such as police and one and more others to avoid, keep away from, not divulge personal information all about, up to, and all about them, such as my name and address and phone number, etc. Privacy and safety. I have given it to all other residents and their guests and staff and my staff, you know, done it the whole time. And anybody and everybody all showed and told and showed and tell other happened instead. Else happened instead. Lied. Lied. All witnessed, including all securities guards, including all on securities cameras, all images, all live, all real time, and all recorded, all witnessed, all before, all during, all later, and all since October 31, 2024. Other residents wanted to talk to us next doors. Uh, they should politely have knocked at my door and or used the directory downstairs. And obviously the answer is no. We did not answer my front door. We did not answer a front door. I did not answer to them. I don't allow them in. Instead, I would, when and if, I would phone the police. Fear for my safety. Privacy and safety. I don't want to know them. Elevators, hallways. I mean, usually I just close the door. Elevator doors. And I don't let them on the elevator. Can I? And I usually just, you know, lots of times I have my I'm recording because just in case they get violent more. And what they say so that, you know, later, should I need to, I can report them to security once more, I can report them to the corporation once more, I can report them to police once more, especially if they reach out and touch, because that's violent. And hallway, I don't go to at on in out from and by any other residents' front doors. I did that. I don't do. I don't intend to. They're just liars that tried it themselves. You know, anyone and everyone showed and told They met and knew us before 1985, and all later, and all since, and all during 1985, and earlier today. Alleged they're related, alleged they're acquainted, alleged they're friends, alleged all who, what, where, when, why, and how met and knew us, meet and know us. At what times? At what times? At what times? I mean, anybody and everybody that did and does, we arrange days, months, years, times, get-togethers. We didn't do that. Alleged wellness checks. Why? When's the last time you heard from us? Did you actually try and reach out to us? And what happened to us? Front doors, phones, calls, text messages, internet, Wi-Fi's, websites, virtuals, social media, networking, wellness check. Most everybody, anybody that did one, it was not appropriate and it was not allowed and should not, cannot, could not, must not, need not ever happened. Instead, privacy and safety. Securities, other residents, their guests, all staff, all to, add, on, in, out, from, and by, all doors, and all windows. This one is this morning. June 5, 2025, May 2, 2025, March 18 at night, 2025, February 23 and 24, 2025, November 12 and 13, 2024, all of 2024 actually. I mean, occasionally I'll meet a neighbor in an elevator and we'll have a little bit of a matter. Nothing too personal, just, you know, we'll have a quick blether about the weather or something. Weather outside. But not the ones I just mentioned. Ex-neighbors and the ones around here. Other residents, that is, with and without their guests. Elsewhere and around here. Next to us. Don't do that. With and or without across the halls, you know? So yesterday, last night, and all those other times, other people next doors couldn't cope with this home here, minding their own business. And since I went to church via technology, Sunday service, live, real time, all other times, I mean, what's it to them? None of their business. Pain reliever. Honestly, you know? A person I attend a variety of churches. I've tourist like and religious. And yesterday was Protestant Presbyterian. All before, all during. I come out once more. Good witch or the bad witch? The Bellis witch, Avril. Avril Bellis the hedge witch. Avril and pets, fur babies, Bellis's fairies gardens. Avril and fur babies, Bellis's fairies gardens. October 31. Halloween. With my newest witch's brew. With and or without the Active Adult Center in Mississauga. With and or without another athletic event. Black hat and all. I'm a Christian. And I do more than one religion, and my favorite religions during equinoxes, solstices, October and December. Those are the times the most that I like to come out. The witch. The witch. I am. The lazy pagan. Wanted to do historical kind of, you know, I'm a modern witch. Here as I am the hedge witch. And when I don't do that, I like to stay in hiding and be accepted by all of society, and I'm the hedge witch. And I am also, more so, myself and fur babies, fairies gardens. I like to garden, do some botany. December. I don't decorate. Some people, other people have seen and heard I'm a witch. I'm the witch. I am the witch. They expect Christmas and Halloween to be extravagant. Lots of decorating and stuff. No, just maybe a little ceramic Christmas tree. I don't do lots. Just maybe a little tree. My cat alive. Yeah, I give. We got trees. Christmas. Related to a pagan Christmas, you know, of sorts. Pagan, Wiccan. At least I did. I'd have my trees. I'd have his little home away from home. His little cat house. All nicely done up. My cat really liked it in there. Quite often. My cat did not like strangers. Did not like other residents and their guests. He didn't like staff. He didn't like anybody. Just like my mom and I home. He expected that's all that would be. He'd get upset. He'd get sad, and he'd have an anxiety attack. And it was just, I can't blame him for, did that. I mean, my cat was entitled to be upset about that. This was all supposed to be my cat's space, you know. And this day too, later this year, when I leave my home, my front door, those other people next door, they come out at the same time and do it. I'm not going to talk to them. I want absolutely nothing to do with them. Absolutely nothing to do with them. As I said, monetization. Some other people don't understand monetization residentially. when you're not wanted. That's why I said sometimes it's better to be anonymous because anonymous to all about me. Anonymous, privacy and safety, and some people obsessive with compulsive and erotomanic delusional, um, auditory hallucinations, paranoid thoughts, celebrities, or stalkers. And they're not celebrities, they're merely stalkers, whatever they've ever did and do, hobbies, careers, employments, educations, you know? Do you agree with me? I'll be back. Here's my coffee. said there's a garbage bag beside it. Walk straight ahead, it's behind the paper bag. And on the other side of the couch you sit on, behind the paper bag.
Oh.
Not in the paper bag, I said behind it.
I'm going to bed, didn't I?
Don't tell anyone your locations. That's just, well, I don't use the term, although true. And it's also awkward that some stalkers already know my location and I can't, you know, change that anytime soon. And in fact, the stalkers should go away. It's not the victims, it's the stalkers that could make mess and need to go away. All before, all during, all later, and all since. Those stalkers, hateful, hate, jealousies, envy, violences, violent, harassment, racism, bigotry, discriminations, prejudices, prejudges, internet trolling, predatory, resentful, stalkers, and since myself and one and more other person, myself and one and more other rejected them. Residentially and all elsewhere. I really truly, this is supposed to be a meat. I am going to have some veg. I just don't feel like cooking anything. I need to eat something. My knee is really bothering me today. It's painful in ways I just cannot fathom the feeling of, other than I know what happened. And it's just painful. And all times, all those one and more those other people stalkers were all too and all about us. And then when they didn't get any responses acceptable to themselves, stalkers went to my alleged managers and caused problems there instead of living their lives, real estate, real heritage, Mississauga, all historical, all geographical, financial, and all new. I do recognize off and on and off the internet Wi-Fi's. And unlike them, not the same as them, I don't bother anybody. I don't do that to add on in, up, from, and by. Stalkers, residents, residential, business, corporate companies. I don't do that anywhere, everywhere. Historical, here and new. Just don't. I never will. And everyone allowed them to not did privacy and safety all about myself and one and more other person related, my family, my parents, and other people related, my parents' parents, and my parents' parents' parents, etc. And all animals, all pets, all fur babies, all animals and all pets, all fur babies, and myself. Such as alleged property managers, those staff, police are obviously having bouts of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder and dementia. About those people, those other people I showed and told. We showed and told that we wanted nothing to do with anymore, and they kept coming and coming. They kept coming right now. And they kept trying to make us change our minds, and kept coming and coming and coming. And I'm like, no, I'm not changing my mind. And that's not me with PTSD and dementia. That's me actually showed and told reality and all truth. All before, all during, and all later, and all since November 12, 2024. And all the staff that police alleged showed and told a photo, etc. The dead person outside was me. And then when police met me, since then, obviously the staff that did that should, can, could, may, must, and need arrested, judiciary punished, and or sued, with and or without sued, lied, all witnessed, all on all securities, cameras, all images, all live, all real time, and all recorded, all witnessed. The dead person out there wasn't us, and that they wanted to do a wellness check. My mom, who was resting, sleeping, and I wouldn't let them in. And all witnessed those other people, police and alleged coroner, forced entry, more violent instead of us. And when they finished being violent, witnessed wrong, they scared my mom. And my mom she has health problems, and eventually we went to the hospital, emergency, paramedics were phone called. And hospital emergency, upper body, soft tissue injury, my neck was injured, my wrists, everything, and upper body, and then I had lower body elsewhere, and I just, was getting over earlier in the year when somebody threw my mom's suitcase filled on me, and that happened, and then my cat anxiety issues increased. My cat already gravely ill, just sicker and sicker, and died. And then I got sick myself, and I couldn't, the symptoms were something awful. I had a cough for how long? Any of you watched me, subscribers, etc., more than 3 months, and I would cough. It was an awful cough. Mom, do you remember that awful cough I had before this year when I coughed? It was and I went to my doctors, and they said, "Oh, it was nothing serious. It was sinusitis and stuff." What? My bedroom doing a live stream. You knew. I am. And paramedics came. I went to the hospital, emergency. I was tested. The doctors tested me, and I had not COVID-19 SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. I had influenza type A virus positive. It's not funny, but I didn't feel well. And then my mom wanted to come home. She wanted to rest, and they wouldn't give her a cot or anything to lie down on it and rest with. So she wanted to come home, so I'm like, okay, here's my key, you can go home. I don't like doing that, although it was an emergency. I'm like, tomorrow when you come back, bring me some toiletries, until I can. And then found out my mom had an alleged fall, and I had to send the ambulance to get my mom paramedics and bring her to the hospital. And it was convenient that they admitted her in the same hospital I was admitted in. And my mom had injuries, wounds, and I couldn't do anything. I was exhausted from coughing. I was nauseated. I had difficulties breathing. As a courtesy, the staff there discharged me, and I took my mom home when she was discharged. And then later, went elsewhere, doctors, and I got more health care and more prescribed prescription medicines. And within a week and a half, I was beginning to feel better after I lost about 14 pounds. Yeah, 14 pounds. It did come off me rather quickly. And the symptoms worsened. I went from having coughing, not breathing, to increased nausea and vomiting. And then I began feeling better. My blood pressure was low, sinus bradycardia low, below the normal range of 60 and 100, sinus bradycardia. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go out for at least twice a week, do at least one day walk fit. And May 18th night, I, without warning, fainted. Down I went. No, my floor is hard. And the paramedics phone called once more. Eventually, they got from the hallway outside my front door in to save my life. The other person next door, weird man, deemed it his right to stop those paramedics coming to me. And he wanted to know why. What was going on, as if it was any of his business, which it is not. And I like to do these live streams because, and social media evidence, you know. I'm not lying. And when there's evidence, and all other times, entertainment. And when one paramedic came to me, and he was still bothering the other paramedic, I told the paramedic, just tell him to fuck off, go away, leave us alone. He should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, need not interfere with my privacy and safety. And my mom there and anywhere and everywhere, us. And that's what that stalker did. Finally, I don't like those neck braces. They really hurt, especially when I already have a pre-existing neck injury. And I mean, in February, was following us, that same stalker, out next door, front door, following us all over the place, outside my front door now, and to the elevator. The paramedics obeyed, would not allow him on the same elevator as we were. He's a stalker. And how many times did I show and told security guards and police? More than twice each. And May 2, public place where I used to work, I know I was fainting. I was very nauseated. I was earlier like, oh, maybe we should go home. Oh, no, I'm fine. It's low blood pressure, sinus break. It all faded away. Although later, I was like, Mom, and the other person's there. I was like, I'm going down. I was sitting. I knew I was going to collapse to the floor. And I passed out. And I was in and out of consciousness and vomiting. And I kept, I got onto my side. It was awfully painful around here and here for quite some time. But by the time the paramedics came, I had stopped vomiting. And the staff there, Mac's co-workers, unfortunately cleaned it all up, maybe before the police and or paramedics arrived. I don't know. Hopefully they had access to the garbage where they put it. I don't know. Anyways. The paramedics inappropriately touched me under my arms and didn't care about my pre-existing injuries and had me walking onto the stretcher. They didn't actually lift me very. I don't know exactly what happened, but I didn't feel like it was a professional move about. And eventually, I got to the hospital, and I remember sitting in a wheelchair, and I didn't feel well. And that awful taste in my mouth, I needed mints. I needed something to freshen my breath. Anyways, I got out of there. The diagnosis, merely fainting. Yeah, I was vomiting everywhere. They didn't even do a COVID and or influenza test on me. They didn't test anything. So I went home and I tried to avoid it, contact with anyone and everyone. Everyone and anyone, you know? Oh, and then, and my blood pressure was low and I had sinus bradycardia. And then, June 5, pedicure, manicure, my mom's pedicure, and we were running late. So, and as my mom missed my mom trans help ride, and we were walking, I was carrying my mom dinner, foods in a bag, and beverages on a tray, and I said something to my mom, and I was like, I felt it. I was fainting, and I was like, and my mom was like, "Would you like?" There was other people around. Anyways, down I went. Oh, the pavement hard. Worse than the athletic accident I had in 2020. Oh, it was hard. And any healthcare worker emergency should, can, could, make, must, and need saw, witnessed. It wasn't just a fall. It wasn't just fainted. Oh, I'm all swollen around here. My tailbone and everything's all swollen. I told staff there my lower back was bothering me. My wrists, my hands, my forearm, my left knee more than my right, my ankles. Yet they sent me home with just a broken wrist. I've been resting. I am going to be doing my doctor follow-up. But my tailbone is all swollen. I'm not skinny. This is all swollen. And I can barely feel my tailbone. That's abnormal. I've never had that unless it's an injury. And I don't recall fainting on my bum. I really don't recall fainting on my bum. My mom said I went backwards. I'm like, no, I fell forward. I have the injuries, I have the wounds forward. And eventually I'm like, Mom, give me my cell phone. Can you get me my cell phone, please? And she did, and I began recording a little bit. Try to show at least some of who were around me. That I was physically not able to move my legs. I was, physically not able to move my left arm, wrist, my face. I should have went back to Mississauga Hospital. I wanted to go to the other one. I actually believed it was maybe closer, but I mean, the 14 pounds of fat that I lost, the weight I lost earlier this year, I know I've gained some of it back, a few pounds. Anyways, this is what it looks like. I mean, you know, I'm not lying. I'm going to remove the screen. No, I'll leave it there for a little while more. Oh. My God, you're pretty. Thank you. Yeah, never divulge. Yeah, I've had technical difficulties, although earlier I had a mailing address, post office box. We did, instead of giving out our home address as a mailing address. Don't want to give out too much personal information. But it's difficult, Some people leave their jobs, their work hours, etc. during too, to internet troll. internet trolling. Internet trolled us, and they thought it was the right thing to do, and it's not. They should have been. Their employers should have reprimanded them, be it suspended them, unemployed them, and with and with and or without us, reported them to the police. Just those traditional punishments must happen because that's not their jobs, duties, jobs descriptions, jobs details, jobs titles. They should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, need not internet trolling us. I'm gonna get my tea. To my mom. Give my mom tea. Tea. My mom is resting. And all the tea is cold water boiled hot, orange pico tea bag, orange pico blend tea bag, and some dairy. My mom likes milk, so some milk. Tea bag out and served. There's nothing poisonous and or anything that's going to hurt my mom, harm, and kill my mom. It's only tea. Myself and many other people. Personal care, etc. help my mom feel better. Anything and everything else, one and more other people showed and told, lied, prejudged, and all times those stalkers and one and more other persons, I suppose, tried, showed, and told. It's still discriminations, prejudicing, prejudging, racism, bigotry. They did do. I give mom privacy and safety 24/7. So did all animals, all pets, all fur babies. All witnessed. Only other people's stalkers didn't want us to have privacy and safety. When I finish my coffee, I'm going to have a tea too. It might be an English breakfast blend. It might be an orange pico blend. It might be green tea blend. I don't know yet. Although it'll be exactly the same as my mom. Cold water boiled hot and tea. Only I don't have any milk. I don't have dairy. I don't have any sweet added. I like my tea. My tea's black. Without dairies, without sweets. Doing a good job. My first plant-based, meatless foods today. One Brazil nut. Window cleaners. That was good. Meatless Monday foods. Join me in your spaces. Meatless Monday foods. Honey today is medicinal, obviously. Every other condiment later. With and or without labeled vegan friendly and or vegan. God, you're pretty. Thank you. Hi. There's another foodie beauty on YouTube. There are many foodie beauties on YouTube. I am one. My cat was the foodie beauty, foodie king. My cat died. And as my cactus is the foodie beauty, since privacy and safety, although I don't want to show and tell lots about. Maybe I'll show and tell my cactus more online. Canada Day and October. It was definitely December. Excuse me. I mean, when I was younger, where I worked, etc., and some other people have reared their off and on and off social media, virtuals, internets, Wi-Fi's, networked, etc. And I recognize them, and so do many others. And there's police reports, etc., complaints. Enough evidence that the police, with and or without the police, courts should, can, could, may, must, and need judiciary punish those other people. They were videotaped, they were photographed, as I was showed and told by several police and other people, evidence. They were witnessed, including all on all securities cameras, all images, all live, all real time, all witnessed. And around here too. And something about this neighbor, this too, getting mail, got mail, other names, and I phone called police, and police were like, privacy and safety, just return to sender, privacy and safety, my concern, and they were just return to sender, return to sender. More than 3 other names thus far happened. More than 3. I've often had to return to sender. I don't know who they are, although whether I do or don't, I don't admit on social media. Although, you know, privacy and safety, and too many bumps and bruises, fractures and breaks. That any of it was just a mere coincidence, accident, you know. I have greater and better things to do instead of harassing and bullying, stalking one and more other person. Truly. Sorry about your cat. Thank you. It took me more than 3 months to stop crying. More than 3 months to stop crying. I mean, I get that sad wish. Well, that happens to me. But I don't just cry. And today, did what I did with my cat. My cat would be proud of me. Having my coffee and honey and a Brazil nut. It's one of our favorite together times when my cat was alive. Foodieism, food connoisseuring. And I don't eat the cheapest of nuts. I mean, I could eat cashews. I could eat lots of cashews. Cashews. It's not about the financial. It's just what are healthy. I prefer Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts. When I don't eat lots with and or without exercising during my recoveries and recuperations, it's one of my favorite foods. Brazil nuts and macadamia, not together, of course, although. We would have been sitting together having a coffee. He would have been sitting in a chair beside me, or in his basket beside me, or on here somewhere beside me, or laying down, resting. Beautiful as ever, trying to keep his mane clean, wearing his bibs, because sometimes he'll be a messy eater, which is good in itself, the size of him, you know. I'd rather cleaned a bib instead of, you know, and it would have been convenient could he have worn diapers himself, because my cat self, because that would have been easier to clean up than a lot. But I would have liked, even were this to have happened while alive. I mean, this wrist has been in and out of healthcare more than 16 years now, recuperating, accident, historical. Stupidest thing, cooking, preparing foods. That's the stupidest thing. And then after recovering from that and got most of the use of my hand back to normal. Again, preparing, cooking. At least it was just my thumb. And I didn't need stitches. And then out of the hospital. Nowadays, I try to avoid anything that's a metal, steel object. Knives. I prefer, do I need to use a knife? I use an alternative. And right now, the alternative is very awkward and difficult because this is back in healthcare once more. Most everybody and anybody, all other people that were all that same and or different races, creeds, religions, most of them were Not them being a racist, bigot, discriminations, prejudice, prejudges. Not Aboriginal, not Indigenous. Most all of them were Pakistan, Indians, India. With and or without Iraq and Iran. With and or without them being black. Other people. Without or without Africa and or Malaysia. And they have accents. Many of them not born Canadians, not Canadians. And they lied and tried, showed, and told that Canadians should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, need not Canadian laws and human rights to add on in, out, from, and by Canada. All earlier, all during, all later, and all since. Instead, it's the other way around. It's those other people. They could, they should, can, could, may, must, and need go away and leave us alone. Front doors, etc. Examples. Uh, Examples: Active Out Center, Mississauga, and Central Parkway Mall, and Square One Older Adult Center, and Square One Shopping Center, and Mississauga Senior Citizen Center on Cloughthrow Road. All times, those stalkers reached out there and complained and reached out anything and everywhere, anywhere, residential. That's all they are, stalkers. They have nothing. They did nothing. They are nothing except stalkers, and they're all bad, all purposefully, all wrong, all not legal, all not lawful, all not sane, all not competent, all not employable, and did not privacy and safety about all too, and all about my parents, my parents' parents, and my parents' parents' parents, and my parents' 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 parents, and all animals and all pets, all fur babies, and myself. All witnessed, including all on securities cameras, all images, all live, all real time, and all recorded. All witnessed. And all times they spoke to my staff, my mom and I staff. They were being harassed too. It's disgusting. See, saw a notification. Weaponized ADHD host online. I'm going to end my live stream. Alleged ADHD. And I'm going to go join that. I'm sure it's another one of his interesting topics. Thank you for joining me this Foods Meatless Monday. It was Meatless Monday. Have a nice day. Be kind to all, everyone, everywhere. Kindness, kind. I know I was kind. Kindness. I was kindness. I did kindness. I am kind.